So the rickshaw scene in the namesake is really only one short scene, but it really is an indicator or a symbol that we see throughout the course of the namesake. What the rickshaw scene is while the Ganguly family is in India to show the differences between the two generations and their understanding of Indian culture is represented in a much bigger way, and we see it a lot. So what we're going to do is, in this section, while we'll call it the symbol of the rickshaw, we're going to look at the Ganguly's trip to India and try to discuss what it means about acceptance of heritage, especially from the first generation American members of the family, Sonia and Gogol. So what we see in this scene, and it's preempted by Gogol drawing a picture of a rickshaw before we actually see the scene altogether, kind of showing us that this is something that is standing out to him, also hinting to his skills as an artist, is that Gogol refuses to get in the rickshaw and ride with his family. He says that he doesn't want to be a part of something that's feudal and exploitative, and while being pulled around by another human being certainly isn't a great indicator of a culture of class equality, it is something that is commonplace in India. It's something that he refuses to accept. And especially showing at this point right here is that Gogol has no interest in becoming part of the Indian culture or even becoming a part of the heritage that his parents grew up in. He keeps himself relatively disconnected from it. There's a lot that goes on in this brief few scenes where the family's in India that is trying to show the audience and giving us a better understanding, especially of the family themselves, that Sonia and Gogol are actually foreigners in this foreign land that is where their parents grew up, which is a really interesting thing to think of. But then you also have to look at it on the flip side and think that it's a reminder that Ashok and Ashima are foreigners in the land that they're still in as well. This scene really points out that some of the things that we would see as completely simple and that Gogol sees as pretty normal, just going out to take a jog, are something that's just not normal. It's not accepted. It's not something that you see normally in India, in this culture. So Gogol and Sonia clearly become the foreigners in this sense, and in these scenes entirely, they're completely out of place. And it gives us a better understanding of Ashok and Ashima, who almost spend their entire lives. Is just one specific example of how the trip to India, we see just how great these cultural divides are, and it's something that Gogol and Sonia really take it for granted that they're normal, so to speak, that their lives as American are perfectly normal. Now they go back to India and they see that they aren't that way. So the question we have to ask ourselves is, how does the rickshaw stand for the differences between Gogol and Sonia and their parents, Ashok and Ashima?